Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me on Patreon. So happy that you became a member of my Patreon page, and we're gonna have a ton of fun over here. I'm gonna show you all kinds of neat little art journaling techniques and goodies, but today, since you're a new member, you get my tutorial on how to create a quarter flat journal. And this is something super easy. It's a bookbinding technique. I'm gonna get right to it. So this is going to be a nice little journal that you can use when you join me to do my tutorials and we start embellishing the journal. And you can create as many of these as you want and all the different little themes that I'm going to do. So you can journal with me. I'm going to tilt the camera right down and we're going to get right to it. Okay, thanks. All right, so welcome to my studio. This is all you need to make a quarter flat journal. So let's start here with literally all you need is craft paper. You can get, a variety of styles and designs from your local craft store. And in fact, you don't even need the book. If you've got a 12 by 12 inch paper, that's all we need. And I just like using these because you can get like a theme with various designs, so it makes it very easy, and then we can kind of spruce it up. But I've done it both ways. I'm just trying to keep it super simple because it's all about the technique today. And here's a couple tools that you're going to need. You're definitely going to need, you don't really need a ruler, but I'm going to have one on hand because some of you will want to get very precise. Like me, if you're like me and you like to eyeball things, then you can admit that. But I like to just have everything on hand so people are prepared. You're going to need a bone folder. You're going to need some waxed linen. This is for sewing the book. A dowel. Bookbinding needles, scissors, or a clipper, either one. I just kind of have both. A pencil, which you don't really need, but like I said, I like to be prepared. And then some kind of a clip. I found these giant paper clips, which I love for my bookbinding because it holds the pages together, especially when we're just doing few pages. But you can also use bulldog clips. Okay, so I just wanted to have a couple different options. If you don't have these, which most people won't because they are a specialty item, you can use bulldog clips. If you don't have a snipper for cutting your wax linen, use scissors. If you don't have a dowel, you can really just use an upholstery thread, an upholstery needle or a big needle for sewing, and just make sure that you have a thimble so you don't, poke the back of it into your finger. Again, if you don't have bookbinding needles, you can use regular sewing needles. If you don't have wax linen, you can certainly use like cotton thread or whatever thread that you have. Polyester is fine. If you don't have a bone folder, you can use a popsicle stick. Okay, and I'm sure everybody's got a pencil. Really, a ruler is optional. So I'm going to just kind of shoo all the tools over to the side. One other thing that you're really going to want is a paper trimmer. I know that I can't cut a straight line, so I love to have my paper trimmer. I do want to show you, if you're interested in getting some bookbinding tools, there's this fabulous little kit. I believe it's around $10, but if you go to my website, www.yvettesaintamant.com. I have a link on to Amazon for a little kit like this with the best prices, and within the kit you get a ton of stuff here. Let's see. So you get 10 large needles, 2-piece bone folder, creaser. So you get a bone folder like this. And you'll also get a creaser, which is a smaller size kind of bone folder with a funny little edge on it. You'll get 4 pieces of wax linen. You actually get 4 big rolls like this within it. You'll get 4 binder clips like this. You'll get an awl, and you'll get thread clippers, which is this, a thimble, and you'll get the little container with the needle like this, and it comes with a ruler. So it's a great little tool kit if you want to invest in like a small investment. You don't have to. Like I said, I give you options. Okay, so let's get right to it. Let's start with the paper. Now, in our book that we're doing today, and I have this design here, it's just neutral, sophisticated neutrals. I will end up doing, I'm going to do like a boho beach journal with this eventually, but you're just going to literally select whatever pages that you want, and you're going to need 7 pages total, but it doesn't mean you need 7 of these, because you can duplicate these pages within your book. We're going to actually cut them in half into 6 by 12 strips to go in our book. So go ahead, you can select 7 pages if you want, or you can select, 4 and you'll double up. I'm just going to go ahead, let's see what I'm going to grab. This one, floral one. I like the floral and the wood. I'll take this one. There's so many, I've got to go back. That's only 3. So yay, you get to select paper with me. I bet you wish you could just put your hand right through the screen and say, Yvette, I like that one. I'm going to take this marble one. I want it to stay kind of neutral. And let's see, this one's nice too. Take that. And I really love this. And this is cute too with the, hang on. I take these little arrows. So let's see, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at that. I've got 7 sheets. In fact, I'm going to replace this kind of beige marble with the white marble. So I do want to keep it kind of neutral, but that's just my preference because I have an idea in mind for a journal that I'm going to do later. Okay, so here are my selections if you're interested, and we're going to put these in our journal. So this is 7 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like I said, these are 12 by 12 sheets. We're literally going to cut them in half so they end up being 6 by 12 strips. So let's go ahead and do that. Just pay attention to the direction of your design, whatever way that you want it to go. I think what I'm going to do is cut 3 at a time. See if my little cutter will do that. So I'm just going to the 6-inch mark here. I always like to pull it through first to make sure it's cut. So I'm going to end up with 2 sets. So I can actually make 2 books here. So I'm going to set one aside, and this is going to be for my book. Let's do my other pages. I might be able to cut 4 in there. So let's go this way, and this way. Okay. So again, to the 6-inch mark. All right. Okay. So I have got 7 sheets of 6 by 12 pieces of paper. Okay. And now the first thing that you want to do when you're doing your journal is pick out which one you want for your cover. And I think I am going to use the wood as my cover. And then the next thing you want to do, just flip it over. That's your cover. So when you fold your book, because we will be folding these in half, the inside is going to be white. So the next page, I'm always paying attention to where my sheets are going. I'm also going to have, I want to have it so that I've got a design on one side and it's blank on the other. So I'm just going to lay my papers on top because we want to lay them down before we start actually folding the papers. The next one I'm going to have, so it's white on both sides and color in the center. And then I am going to put a colored piece of paper also inside. I think I'm going to use the little arrows. And then I'm going to do, let's see. So when it's folded this way, I'm going to have color, white, color, color, white, and let's do a design there. And then these two I'll have facing each other. Okay, so that's the start of it. The next thing we're going to do, keep your papers like so because we're going to fold them in half. And I want you just to leave them flat so you remember which way you're going to fold them. And you're always going to fold towards, sorry, I had to flip my thing here. We're always going to fold inward. So make sure it's lined up. What you want to do is just put your finger there to make a little mark. Take your bone folder and gently move it along the paper. Whatever you do, don't take your bone folder and press down really hard this way or you will cut your paper in half. So you got to be gentle. Okay, so that's the inside. Let's just put it aside. This one's going to fold inward. Same thing, you just want to go and fold all your papers. And as you fold them, you can put them within each other so you know where they go. So go ahead, fold all your papers. You want to fold them one at a time, okay? Down. Almost done. Now when I do my videos over here on Patreon, I'm not fast forwarding because I want you guys to be able to go along with me step by step. Okay. So now we've got our book all cut. The pages are where they need to be. So we put 7 pages, 6 by 12. When we fold them in half, it makes a 6 by 6. Now you can see why I call it a quarter flat journal. It actually ends up being a quarter size of a full 12 by 12 sheet. So you've got a 6 by 6 journal. And we're going to do lots of these little journals in various ways. Now this is a simplistic journal that I'm just going to show you the basics to sewing. And then we'll touch some other little goodies and embellishments as we go along. So what you're going to need next is your awl. And you're going to need a needle. Just going to pull one out. Get all our tools ready. And our wax linen. So when you're measuring the wax linen, when you're sewing, what we're going to do is we're going to go along the spine of the book, the fold, and we're going to measure 3 lengths of this wax linen. 1, 2, and 3. and we'll just cut it right there. And then we're done with the linen. You can put that away and you can thread your needle. Now, as you do these, as you do more and more of them, you will gain your preference on the length of the waxed linen. I like to do it a little bit longer because I like to add embellishments on the end, such as beads or charms. And if you don't want it so long, you can always just cut it, right? It's so easy to cut off what you don't want, but it's really hard to add on after. So we have our thread ready. Now we have to make our holes to sew it. We're going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Now for all you that want to be very precise and you want to measure where your holes go, you're more than welcome. I typically don't do this when I'm doing one signature. That's what this is. I just kind of eyeball it. So this is 6 inches. You'll make a little dot at the middle point, which is 3 inches, right in the crease. And then we're going to go 1 inch from the top at 1 and 1 inch from the bottom, making it 5. Okay, so I've made 3 little marks there where we're going to put the hole. Now, I love these giant paper clips. I got them on special at Tuesday morning. If you end up having a Tuesday morning around, you've got to check out, oh, they're like craft stuff and journal supplies. They have such cool things. And I like to use them just to hold the pages down so that when I'm putting the holes in and sewing, it's not moving around. But you can certainly just use bulldog clips as well, or regular paper clips. Okay, so that's your option. So grab your awl. The first thing you're going to do is poke a hole through the center. Now watch your fingers on the other side. If you just want to maybe put your fingers on both sides, because if you have it here, you will end up stabbing yourself, and it's not fun. Trust me. I've done it once and I learned my lesson. Okay, so go ahead and make your holes. So you've got 3 holes, and this is where we're going to sew. Super easy, right, guys? So you have the option of starting going through the middle or through behind. Today we're going to go from behind, and then this is just one of those things. You make a journal with me today, we have it behind. Then you can just go ahead and you know, try it next time with the thread in the center. Let me just take a little drink here. My throat's getting a little dry. Thank you. And I am just drinking coffee. It's not a cocktail. It's not cocktail hour. Not yet anyways. Okay, so go ahead. You're going to go through the center hole. Just pull it up through the center. Might have to wiggle it just a little to get it through there. And then you're going to leave a little bit of a take. Okay, I cut plenty of thread, so you should have enough of, like, it was about 4 inches hanging down. Then you're going to go through the top hole. Now this time we're not going back through the middle. We're going to go all the way down to the bottom here. Put it through. So now we're going to go back through the middle. Now when we go through the middle, the one thing you got to make sure is that you're coming up. Let me see if I can, on the other side of the thread. So let me give you a close-up here. So the thread is on this side of the book, so we want the other thread to come up on the opposite side. You'll see here in a minute once I pull this through. You can take your needle out. So I've got 1 thread on this side and 1 thread on this side, and we've got our thread in the middle. Okay, so what you're going to do, you got to make sure that these threads are taut. So just gently, whoops, let's see, gently pull them through. I like to lie my book flat, And then what you want to do is, this thread came from the top, is just pull in the direction that it came. Because if you pull this way, you're literally going to rip your paper. Okay? Once it's taut, you're going to do right over left, tie it tight, and then left over right. And there, we can remove the clips. And you have created a little quarter flat journal. Now this is a structure. 3-hole pamphlet stitch quarter flat journal. And you've got this beautiful, lovely little book that you constructed yourself. It's just about the technique here. And then in the videos to come, we're going to learn how to embellish these pages in various themes. And this is going to be my Bohemian Beach themed journal. Now, keep in mind when you're doing these journals, because I just wanted you to see what the structure was today, that I simply used craft paper. But you can use homemade paper if you want. You can paint and prepare the pages if you want. You can print stuff on the back of these pages if you want before you put the structure together. But today was just about building the structure. You've got a little quarter flat journal, and we're going to do so many fun things with these journals, and I'm looking forward to creating with you. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting my camera so that you see me, but we are going to do so many fun things with this. I have literally taken this and turned it into a little, this is my vintage journal that I'm working on that you guys will see. You'll have little videos on how to create this. So it's just really neat to see how you can take something very simple and turn it into something extremely spectacular. So thanks for joining me on this quarter flat tutorial on how to create the 3-hole pamphlet stitch and create your own journals, and we'll have lots of fun doing some embellishments. I'll see you soon.